Hi, I'm Justin Mitchell, founding partner of Frontline Real Estate Services. We're really excited to be bringing you a video series from our development land division over the coming quarters. We're going to talk about some of the things that we learned in the last quarter that we think were big lessons, some of the trends that we think could help make you money in the coming quarters, and we'd also like to tell you about our big idea, something that we'd like to introduce, our billboard. So before we jump into more information, I'm thrilled to announce that Mike Harrison has joined the partnership at Frontline as an owner. After 6 years of absolutely working his butt off, a whole bunch of sales, unbelievable customer service, Mike's definitely earned this position and title. So excited to see what he brings all of our customers and the company over the coming years. Thanks, Mike.
As we know, and has been widely reported, the residential resale market is crazy. That being said, there's a lot of hesitation from our developer clients as to when the other shoe is going to drop, as the perception is that most of this market activity has been driven by local buyers. That being said, it seems as though Canada is still on target to hit its immigration levels of 1.2 million new Canadians in the next 3 years. Once those people start to arrive, I think it's going to be busier than anything we've ever seen in this town before.
The big lesson we learned in the first quarter of this year in the Fraser Valley is that the single family market leads every time, both up and down. And we saw it climb coming out of the initial risk and concern of the pandemic in the middle of last year, and it's still going.
I'd love to talk a little bit more about the mispriced attention in the market right now. More luxurious product that's transit oriented, and product that's urban. We're seeing that some of the developers that may have a bit more of a contrarian view think that these are the best opportunities at this time.
So our trend with single family leading the market is highlighting the big opportunity right now to buy a low-rise wood frame condo development site before everybody realizes that the revenue is going to climb, and it's just starting to.
So we think that while high-rise concrete is probably not the flavor of the day right now, it's just a matter of time, especially when you start to factor in things like immigration that we're supposed to see in the next 3 years until that market is booming again.
I mean, if I could have a giant billboard that everybody in the real estate industry could see, the one thing that I would take away from this is buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip.
One of the things that I've been looking at in the stats over the last few months is that if you look back through the challenges and the cycles in the market, none of them took very long to recover. If you go back to 2008, it was less than 2 years for the benchmark price of a single family home to get from its peak back to where it was.
One thing we've seen in the last 18 to 24 months through this kind of protracted land slowdown that's been going on is that the groups that have done the best are the groups that have stayed the most active in the land market. So continue to kick tires on opportunities, continue to put sites under contract, continue to look for deals in the market that usually just aren't there.
The developers that bought at the bottom during the beginning of the pandemic that are the real winners coming out of it. They have historic land costs, and they're now taking advantage of these massive price increases on the end product side. Their pro formas are looking fantastic.
Next time a dip happens, I'm having merch made that says buy the dip.